Hey guys, this is Whitney, and welcome back to another episode of Spastic Chatter. Spastic Chatter is a platform meant to feature those in the cerebral palsy community, and I get together weekly with individuals with CP like myself to have a kind of uncensored chat, if you will, about what it's like living with this type of disability. And for this week, I have Stephanie, and I came across her on another internet search, and she sounds like a pretty cool person. She is a makeup artist, along with a million other things I found on her Instagram. So I will let Stephanie introduce herself. So
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Debs and I am the founder of the Makeup on Wheels Foundation. And I would just like to say what an honor it is to be a part of the Spastic Chatter podcast. So thank you, Whitney, for having me on such a wonderful show.
well, thank you for being a part of it. So let's take it back to kind of the beginning. What got you into makeup?
So I got into makeup at a very young age. I was 8 years old and my dad took me to an intense therapy program in Poland. And they said to me, he said to me, if you walk and do all your exercises, I'll take you to get makeup. And back then in Poland, the makeup was so cheap. So he literally could buy me the whole store, like anything I needed for makeup, like from blush to mascara, you name it. And that was my way of doing my exercises. And then after I did all that, he bought me white t-shirts because, mind you, I was 7, 8 years old and had no like understanding of what it's like to actually put makeup on. So it would take me like 2 hours, he said I would spend on it. And then I would turn to him and I would look at him and I would go, hey, Dad, how do I look? And he would be like, oh, you look beautiful. And the lipstick was all over my face and the mascara was on my cheeks and it was just a mess.
Yeah.
And my dad would let me go to the mall looking like that because he said, you felt like you were so proud to put makeup on, so I just had to leave it like that. And my dad's a guy, he has no idea. So when I look back on pictures, I was like, whoa, but I really, really loved makeup at a young age, and it made me feel like I don't like to use this word, but it made me feel like I was normal for a little bit, like I was able to do stuff for myself and didn't have to ask anybody for anything. Like I could open up the lipstick, I could put it on my face. Same thing with eyeshadow. And I just felt like I was a part of the able-bodied community for just a little bit. And even when I'm doing my exercises with my personal trainers, I tend to forget about what's going on in my daily life. And it's nice to escape from it a little bit. I wouldn't change who I am as a person because my disability is a part of me and made me the strongest person I am today. So I'm grateful for that because I don't think I would be the same person if I wasn't in the situation I am in.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And I love that your dad let you go out like that because it gave you confidence and it's like I love that story. And you kind of brought up another question I have. Do you have to for me? I know do you have to do any kind of adaptations for your makeup for gripping and things like that? You kind of answered it, but.
Well, it depends on the day. Like sometimes, like if I'm having trouble holding stuff, I do put the makeup brush in my mouth sometimes to just grab it better. Or when I'm doing someone's face, there is a time where I have to put the brush in my mouth and go like this. Because, it's still sanitary because you're not putting the brush part in your mouth on the person's face. So at the end of the day, you have to do what you got to do. And if that's the way you put makeup on and it looks like how people do a celebrity's makeup, then you do what you gotta do because
Exactly.
you're just
Like I know that I wanna on the rare occasion that I do wear makeup, I have to put like the mascara in my mouth to open it.
no.
Yeah. And then like I don't know about like to actually put the mascara on, I have to just hold the mascara brush. I have to blink. Like I can't do it like you said, like a normal person with a quotation mark with like the quotation marks. I have to come up with like ways for me to do it. But like when you do, can you do like eyeliner and stuff? Like that's one thing that I wish I could do, but I can't. I can do.
Eyeliner is one of the hardest for me because you have to be very close to the eye. I can do it on somebody else, no problem.
Yeah.
Beginning, it looked like but now I'm like I could do it on somebody else. But when it comes to me, it's a little difficult because you got to close your eye and you got to feel for it.
Yeah.
And how are you gonna see what you're doing if your eye is closed? Because I can't blink, like wink or something, wink. So it's difficult, but I'm getting there. It's a work in progress. But every day, if you want to get better and better at something, all you got to do is practice.
Exactly. I love that. I love that quote too. So I get we have something in common with all these with all these things you're saying. So you do makeup on other people. Have you ever had somebody like doubt your abilities because they see your wheelchair or like they?
Unfortunately, yes, but that never stopped me because I always am the type of person to prove everyone wrong. If you tell me you can't do something, oh, well, you're going to regret that because I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to do it 10 times better than you could ever do. Because that's just the attitude that I have, and I feel that no matter what the situation is or what your lifestyle is, don't degrade someone because they look different than you. Like, you're no better than them.
So did you go ahead and do their makeup and make them look? Did you make them like eat their words per se, like, or did they not let you?
Client of mine, it was actually like when I did volunteer stuff for this special needs prom, and there was a client of mine who was in a wheelchair, and they go, "You're gonna do her makeup, but she's in a wheelchair," and I'm like, of course, this is why I became a makeup artist, because I want to make people like me feel beautiful about themselves and realize that they are just like everyone else. And she was so happy. And I knew right then and there that this is why I love what I do, because it's people like that who make it all worth it.
That's really cool. And you brought up a good point that it was another person with a disability that kind of challenged your ability. So it's not just able-bodied that we have to kind of prove ourselves to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that brought up a good point. So you told me before this that you're going to school to be an esthetician. For somebody that doesn't know what that is, what is an esthetician?
So an esthetician primarily deals with skin and facials and waxing and all that stuff. So I wanted to become an esthetician because with makeup artistry, there is no license. And in order for you to have a license in what you want to do, because I eventually want to open up my own salon catered to people with disabilities. So because of that, I needed to start getting a license. And there was two types of license I can get: cosmetology or esthetician. And I do not like dealing with hair. I don't enjoy it at all, and it's very challenging for my fingers. And if I want to do something, I need to love what I do, because I don't want my job to feel like work, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because,
you don't want to be stressed either. Like,
yeah, I just want to love what I do and enjoy going to work and say, wow, I'm helping people feel beautiful and getting, their skin to feel like how they want it to feel. And same thing with makeup, making them enhance their beauty and showing them that, you know, they're beautiful with or without makeup, and trying to make their, you know, time with me a memorable one, and also a fun time, because
Yeah,
people can be like, wow, is she really going to turn me into what I like? Or am I going to look like, how you say, a clown? And that's where you, as the artist, prove to them that you know how to make their imperfections turn out to be perfect. So that's
exactly.
why I love what I do. But I am enjoying esthetician school. I go to Christine Valmy of New York, and I'm enjoying it. It's online right now, and starting Monday, I go into the practical portion where you learn how to do facials and all the hand movements and stuff. So I'm a bit nervous because I don't know how to wiggle my fingers, but I am working on it with my personal trainers, and they're really a great support system.
That's
And
awesome.
without them, I wouldn't be able to have all the opportunities that I have with my physical um, abilities. So I'm forever grateful to the both of them.
That's awesome. So have you like advocated for yourself in the school? Like do they know that you have cerebral palsy and like that you might need like accommodations? Like
Yes, everyone is aware of it, and they're so accommodating. They understand that I may have to take a ride when I get to their school, and they said, you let me know whatever you need and we'll help you. And I get extra time on exams, so they're like 100% whatever you need. So I'm really grateful to them. They're very, very nice, and I highly recommend them.
that's awesome. So like I told you before this, my sister was a licensed esthetician. So like when I went to her like salon or whatever she was doing, the tables were always so high. Have you? I just thought about this. Does your chair raise up? Do you have
Yes,
like
it lays up, it lays down, it does everything you can
I'll
think.
say that's cool. So you don't even have to worry about it. If a table is too high or whatever, you can just raise up and essentially
Yeah.
that's awesome. So let's talk about your foundation. What is what is your foundation do? Do you have something that like you raise money for, or like a platform, or is it just to like raise awareness?
So I started the Makeup on Wheels Foundation towards the end of June of this year, because I figured, well, the coronavirus was happening. I wasn't able to do any physical therapy, so I used this time to, take advantage of it and do what I always wanted. And I'm grateful because the foundation took off like so well. And I raised so much money just by selling T-shirts, hand sanitizers, and face masks.
Okay.
And what I want to do with the foundation is I want it so that way, like if it's like, for example, this month I'm raising money for breast cancer. So I'm selling these T-shirts that I'm wearing and hand sanitizers and pink masks to raise money for breast cancer, and half the proceeds go to the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
That's
So
awesome.
I hope that people participate and we're able to make and raise money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And ways to make payments right now are Venmo, Zelle, or a check made out to the Makeup on Wheels Foundation. So going back to your question, the reason why I started this was because no one was giving me a chance in regards to finding a job that I would be paid for, whether it was event planning, because I did go to St. John's University for event planning, and I always wanted to, my dream goal was to be an event planner and do somebody's makeup for their special day, because it goes hand in hand with each other. And nobody wanted to give me that chance. So I was fed up with it, and I said, you know what? If I'm not destined to work with someone or work for someone, then I'm just going to have people work for me, because I'm not going to let my disability stop me from doing what I need to do. And I am grateful to the people who turned me down, because without their, you know, without their reason for telling me no, I wouldn't have what I have right now. And this foundation is better than any job I could ever have and be employed for, because this is mine, and I make my own hours, and and I'm doing what I love and helping people. So unfortunately, because of COVID, I can't do what I wanted, because originally for breast cancer, I was going to have women or men come in and get beautified for $5, $5 a person. They come and get a full face, and all the money we raise goes to Susan G. Komen. But because no contact, 6 feet apart, can't do that. So I said, you know what, let's just raise money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation and, do all this. But my goals and dreams for the foundation are to raise money for someone with a disability to be able to go to a makeup school or an esthetician school or a cosmetology school, to just give them that chance. Because there are so many people who are like me, who have a dream, whether it be makeup or regular schooling or whatever the case. They deserve to have a scholarship, because not many people are fortunate enough to have the means to pay for, college or a trade school. So my goal and dream is to, raise money for scholarships, raise money for special equipment,
That's very
anything for a disabled individual. Because, for example, like, I understand everything. Like, when I needed a car, it took so long to get the car. Like, it's not like everybody else where they just go get the car and then they have it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all. And we have to wait months and months and months. And just want to help people get that burden to disappear, because they deserve to live the life that we all get a chance to live. Because just because we have a disability doesn't mean that we're less fortunate than anybody else. We may have some setbacks, but that doesn't mean that the able-bodied community has an advantage. Because if anything, I believe we have an advantage, because we, as the people we are, live a lifestyle that is way beyond the norm, as they say.
Yeah.
And not many people who are able-bodied would be able to handle the type of lifestyle we have to live.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I was like, I don't like it, because my fiance is disabled too, and we have these conversations. I'm like, I seriously don't think an able-bodied person can handle what we go through on a daily basis. Like it takes a strong person to handle everything that we go through, and people just don't realize it, or they, like, you know what I mean. But you're like, I really love what you're doing about like are your future plans with the scholarship, because not many people, like, if you search for like scholarships and like things like that, there's not that much out there for people with disabilities, and if there is, it's not in like the career field, like the creative career field, like a makeup artist or something like that. It's like in very I don't want to say stereotypical, like, careers that people think people with disabilities should go in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
They just think we have a certain criteria we have to meet, and if we meet that, we're set. And that's not the case, because we have dreams and aspirations, and we deserve to make all those dreams come true.
Yeah. So your episode's not gonna come out until like November, but I'm gonna link all your stuff in the description, so like people can go check out your foundation and all the stuff that you have going on. But before we end this episode, I want to talk. We're kind of gonna get away from makeup for a second, because you have a really cool thing going on. You you were part of or you have a walker or attachment to your walker that's like robotic, and this has gotten a lot of press. Because if you Google your name, I don't know if you Googled your name lately,
I
but if
have.
you Google your name, like that pops up. So do you want to talk about the robotic attachment for your walker real fast?
Of course, that was the one of the best days of my life. And it was August 20th at about 10 a.m. We were finally hooked up to the Trexo, and I was so nervous. My trainers were there, my friends were there, and I was like, oh my God, what if this doesn't work? Like, I'm going to be devastated. And then all of a sudden, the machine just starts picking up my leg and putting it down, and picking up my leg and putting it down. And then I was like, oh my God, it's working. And the smile that came on my face is what was the most rewarding feeling in the entire world. Because it's moments like that where you realize, wow, all your hard work truly does pay off. Because if you believe in yourself and you believe that one day you will get to do the things that people told you couldn't,
Yeah.
there you go. And they told me that it was made for children. And I'm so short. I'm like 5 foot when I could stand up straight, and
Yeah.
4'11" when I want to stand the way I need to stand for the day. So I made it like this much, and I was willing to take that chance.
Yeah. So can you explain what it does? What it does? It's a robotic attachment to your walker, and it
Yes,
moves the
20th of 2020 at 10 a.m. I took my first steps with the Trexel Robotics. And that day, I was surrounded by my family and friends, and I was nervous because I was taking a chance where was it going to work, or you know was it not? So you could tell my nerves were really strong. And then the second it started to pick up my legs, I was like, wow, it's walking. And then after around 30 minutes of walking in it, the initiation was about 50%. And that is pretty good for someone who never used this machine and was
yeah.
actually, moving themselves 50%. So that's pretty good. And there's different colors on the machine, which is purple means that the machine's doing it. Blue means that the person in the walker is doing it themselves. And then orange means that you're trying, but you're fighting it as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I was walking, there was a lot of blue and there was a lot of orange, which was good. Some days there are purple, but I am very excited to say that I have made a made a total of almost 8,000 steps, and I only started this journey toward the end of August, so it's pretty good. And the highest initiation I ever did was 82%. So that is really great. So overall average of initiation so far I have is like 62%.
That's
So
very cool. So just to close out every time I do an interview, I always ask my guests if they have any advice for other people that might be going through similar situations as themselves. So Stephanie, do you have any advice for other people?
of course, and my advice to you is the world is your stage, so all you have to do is just really believe in your dreams and goals and pursue them, because you shouldn't let your disability stop you. And because your disability isn't what defines you, it's you who defines who you are. And you just gotta fight every day and, you know, show people that you are just like everyone else, if not better.
That's awesome. So, very good advice. So, Stephanie, where can people follow your journey? Your social media, website, anything like that?
So I started back in 2012 a Facebook page called Life in Wheels, IN Wheels. So over 2,000 people follow it. So if you guys want to follow my fitness journeys and fitness goals and esthetician school meetings or follow me on Instagram, all you got to do is type in Stephanie Debs. It's StephanieDebes with the @ symbol, of course. And you can follow me on the Makeup on Wheels Foundation to know what the foundation is all about and what we have going for us. And like I said earlier, if you guys want to donate to the Susan G. Komen Foundation, you can Venmo me at Stephanie Debs, Zelle, or a Facebook message or Instagram message, or write a check out to the Makeup on Wheels Foundation. And if
Very
you
cool.
have any questions, just message me at any time, and I will show you how you can donate. And very soon on my website, if you check it out, it's www.stephaniedebs.com, and there's a donate button. And it will be set up very shortly, maybe in like the next week or so. So hopefully by the time you guys hear all about this, you'll be able to donate through the website. So that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And also on my website, I have makeup lessons. So if you guys want to learn how to do like a full face of makeup, there's PowerPoints on there that you could buy. There's Zoom lessons with me, Google Meet lessons with me, whatever you like, FaceTime, WhatsApp. And I could show you how to build your kit, do a full face, so that way you can go out and do your own freelancing, because the fun fact about makeup artistry is that you don't need a license. So anybody could be a makeup artist. But the trick is to be a good one.
Very cool. All of that will be linked in the description, so it'll be easier for people to access it. And thank you, Stephanie, for being on Spastic Chatter. I had a really good time talking to you. And for anyone that's watching it, if you want to be on an episode of Spastic Chatter, there is a link in the description. And check back next week for another episode of Spastic Chatter. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.